Welcome, ladies non-binaries and gentlemen, to my Zelda slideshow, which I made on my phone aboard a train in August 2025. My presentation was originally intended for Miles Cord's PowerPoint night, but the Amtrak Wi-Fi was so bad I couldn't present. It is called Promoted to Queen: Why is Zelda Still a Princess in Tears of the Kingdom? Disclaimer: my Zelda knowledge is a few years outdated at this point. I have not played Echoes of Wisdom or read Masterworks, and I've even mostly managed to avoid spoilers for the ending of Tears of the Kingdom. But never mind that, let's do some theorizing. In every game, Zelda is a princess, even when she's the one in charge of the country of Hyrule. A country whose ruler is a prince is called a principality, such as Monaco, Andorra, and Liechtenstein. But Hyrule isn't a principality, it's a kingdom. Zelda's father was a king, and her mother was a queen. The other games where Zelda is a princess regnant, not to be confused with a princess regent, are Twilight Princess, Spirit Tracks, Link Between Worlds, and Hyrule Warriors. Each of these are for different reasons. In Twilight Princess, the Prima Guide calls Zelda a queen-in-waiting, so she was going to be promoted any day now, but got delayed by the invasion of Zant. The theory is that the Orden Sword was supposed to be her coronation present. In Spirit Tracks, if you translate the letter the princess sends you, she calls herself as queen, but nobody else in the game calls her that, it's just flavor text. In A Link Between Worlds, one of the guards straight up said the princess runs the country by herself, and this is not elaborated any further. In Hyrule Warriors, a dev interview confirmed the only reason Zelda is called a princess instead of a queen is literally just marketing. Oh, also, Ocarina of Time, she's a princess in exile because Ganon took over the kingdom, and in Wind Waker she's a pirate who didn't even know she's a princess because the Hyrulean monarchy has been long forgotten neath the waves. So, with those in mind, what are some possible reasons Zelda wouldn't be the queen of Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom? My original theory was that it has to do with being married, but this was mostly because of a misinterpretation of the scene where Sidon marries Yona and then becomes king of the Zora. That was actually because Dorothan chose to abdicate at that moment. However, in Tears of the Kingdom, I refuse to believe Zelda and Link are anything less than a couple, considering she lives in his house and they obviously love each other. My second theory was coming of age, which is likely the case for some of them, but is very much not the case for Tears of the Kingdom. By my calculation, she is 23, practically an old woman by medieval standards. Oh wait, actually 123, which is old by any standards. And by the end of the game, she's like 12,000 years old, and still as beautiful as ever. The real reason in this case is much simpler. Zoe first speculated this, and I pointed out she was correct. When King Rome introduced himself in Breath of the Wild, he called himself the last ruler of a kingdom which no longer exists. Most people don't remember this because they skip the cutscene after their first playthrough. In Tears of the Kingdom, Princess Zelda isn't a queen because she's a princess in name only. The Hyrulean monarchy has been defunct for a century, and people were getting along just fine without it. For her part, Zelda still wants to help people, so she's a teacher and philanthropist. In that way, it's most similar to Wind Waker, except in that one, she became a pirate. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and please be sure to absolutely smash my like, subscribe, and bell buttons as if they were monarchy. Thank you for watching.